Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cure the Common Game. Today we're going to talk about Star Trek. Okay, not really. Time Spiral Block was a very unusual time for Magic. I absolutely loved it. Time Spiral, Planar Chaos, and Future Sight were all named after existing Magic cards, believe it or not. And Planar Chaos was an alternate present theme. So Crovax, the Ascendant hero, of course, is a direct mirror image of Ascendant Evencar from way, way back. And he does, I mean, legit the same thing. It's just white. As far as 6 mana 4/4 goes, yes, he's got the Anthem on him. I'm sorry, the Crusade, because it even helps white creatures that aren't yours. But it also, kind of discourages goblin and elf play. The non-white creatures getting -1/-1, and pay 2 life to return to your hand so he can, dodge some removal or whatever. Now, it's hard not to build the same old deck here, but it's Crovax, and I know I have a penchant for mono white decks, but I'll get through them all eventually. But what I decided, I was just thumbing through cards, and the first thing that really struck a chord with me was Sigil of the Empty Throne. Once you choose this card, you kind of, you're set on rails. So I was like, well, if I'm doing Sigil of the Empty Throne, I'm going to be playing enchantments. I might as well play Helm of the Gods. And then I was like, well, I need Plea for Guidance because, Enlightened Tutor and Idyllic Tutor are expensive and nobody wants to part with them. Open the vaults because somebody's going to blow them all up at some point in time. And then the Starfield of Nyx. Now, this is kind of neat. It works a little bit. Angelic Chorus is a card I probably also need in here. But, so, I was like, enchantments, huh? Well, Leyline, since we're obviously making 4/4 angel tokens, if I get it early, great. If I get it late, also great. The Dictate, Honor, Anthem, Intangible Virtue. Now, all of these are enchantments that are making 4/4 angels, so which are just bigger. Now, I'm not running a whole lot of creatures here, but the ones I am running, I want to be able to get back. We'll get to creatures next. I am running Hall of Triumph. Does not fit the theme, I know. It does and it doesn't. What can I say? Hall of Triumph here, it's a decent placeholder for when I, one of the tutors or the chorus, or if I magically come across another replenish. Anyway, white creatures. Now, Mason Enchantress is a shoe-in. The creepy art Blessed Spirits, which, by the way, is epic level art. It's just whoa. And the flavor text, whoa. Now, the archetype, he's an enchantment, so he's going to trigger, and he gives your angels first strike, and he keeps everybody else from having first strike, so that's kind of sweet. Johnny's Chosen. Now, this is kind of neat. So, when enchantment comes or goes, I get an effect, so that's pretty neat. And I am running Sun Titan to get all those things back. And if I'm running Sun Titan, I got to be running the Burnished Heart because that's just too good not to do. Let's look at some ramp here. I try to use a ramp I don't normally use. The Golem's Eye, Marble Diamond, Hedron, Pearl. And I really like this guy. Now, I think all 5 of these are pretty decent. Well, no, the black one's not very good. As I remember, they all turn into an old creature. Like this one turns into Thunder Spirit. The black one turns into Phyrexian Negator, which is no. It's not bad on the creature. Now, Brave the Elements, I'm going to save from a potential board wipe. Or, well, no, I'm sorry. It does not save from a board wipe, but it will, like, you know, it helps. Starve Extinction's a real thing. Disenchant is my utility. I love this art, but I love it more in the white border. It's the Ice Age art, but from, oh. Now, running Tariff, because you played at the right time, it just kills everybody's biggest thing, or, well, most expensive thing. A lot of times, it's their general. Let's look at board wipes, because we don't have a lot of creatures, so I'm running 6 board wipes. Of course, Day of Judgment, End Hostilities, might as well gain some life. Divine Reckoning, that's pretty neat, because we can choose, you know, our general or whatever it is that we want, and if it's still early game and we have our sun, you know, it's whatever. Mass Calcify, you know, 7 mana is apparently the price that we're going to get for one-sided Wrath. I know, well, in white, black gets the shaft because I think in Garrick's Wake is 9. Plague Wind is 9. Anyway, Fated Retribution is going to, you know, get rid of those Super Friends decks and destroy all non-token creatures. Convoke's pretty nice, too. Now, let's look at enchantments. Defensive enchantments first, why not? Revoke privileges. As weird as this is, I'm playing this over like pacifism. Simply because that extra line or crew vehicles, you know, that's a thing that matters now. It wasn't just a flash in the pan from the Kaladesh block. We've seen them in Ixalan now, so that they are evergreen, or, well, I think Morrow says they're deciduous, whatevs. But the vehicles ain't going away, and the value is there, so we might as well, you know, acknowledge them. I'm actually running this over O-Ring because, you know, it O-Rings 3 or 4, 7 things. I don't know about y'all. You see a lot of games that is, you know, it's a 4-player format or whatever. No. At my local LGS, we have, you know, everybody that wants to play. Everybody plays something. Everybody's, you know, it's a standard, it's a modern, it's a legacy, or, you know, draft players. But everybody has their favorite format. But everybody has a commander deck, or, you know, 5. But it could be just because, you know, that's the format we have, or, you know, I've been going there. I don't know. Anyway, we have a lot of big games, 6, 7, 8 players. Does take a little while. You got a speed play, you got a shortcut, you know, all that fun stuff. Now, I am running Solemnity because, wow, it hoses. You know, we have nothing that deals with counters in the deck. Nothing at all. So, why not? And it does hose so many decks. All those experienced generals, all of the energy. Wow. I mean, there's so much. Hell, just +1/+1 counter themes. I think I've got, what, 20 of those decks already? But hey, it's a good card. And it triggers. It's kind of... Sphere of Safety is our, you know, our propaganda. Don't have a Ghostly Prison because, there again, all in use. Trying to find alternate cards, you know. But Sphere of Safety is amazing because, you know, number of enchantments you control. Gideon's Intervention is beautiful. You can choose the commander even if it's on the board. That's fine. You just can't take damage from it. If something happens to it, it dies on one of your board wipes. They just can't cast it again. Hey, win-win. Vow of Duty. Pariah. Now, I'm running Pariah not per se for our creatures, but I mean, I am running an indestructibility, but the Pariah is for other people's creatures that are already indestructible, stuff that you can't really touch anyway. Now, and of course, a Spirit Loop, because when it hits the yard from play, it goes back to your hand and you get another cast. Speaking of another cast, I've got 5 cards here that are. We'll start with the Flickering Ward, because all of these are recastable enchantments. You can cast to get the angel, to get the trigger, whatever, and then they have their thing. You choose a color with this one. It stops being a valid color. You just bounce it back, replay it, get a whole other set of cast triggers. Similar to the Shackles. Same thing. You pin something down. If something better comes along, I mean, if you're pinning down something and then somebody throws a Krinko out, you kind of want to, don't want that Krinko to untap. Cage of Hands, same thing. Multiple cast triggers. Now, Gossamer Chains, similar, but you can't just bring it back to your hand at will. You cast it for the 2 and, bounce it to activate it. You have to have an unblocked creature that can be targeted, So even if player 2 is attacking player 3, you can use this to kind of make allies and or get more triggers. So, and then the most current version, obviously, is the Griff's Boon. And I really like this because you play it from the yard. So that's pretty sweet. Now, general enchantments. I guess that has 2 meanings, doesn't it? Let's go with the auras. Now, the Ethereal Armor, Griffin Guide, I like that because it does grant. Now, these are probably going to go on the general, or if you've got the Enchantress, whatever. Sun Titan works too. Sun Titan works real good with the Griffin Guide if something happens and you can, whatever. Let's see here. We have a Spirit Mantle. Now, I'm running the Spirit Mantle exclusively with Crovax in mind because, a 5/5 general that has pro dudes seems pretty good. And if you can give it the double strike, then we're dealing 10 general damage. Then we're going to get nasty with the Armored Ascension because, and if they let you do all this, then they deserve this. I think that's it for auras. I don't know. We'll start with Opalescence because it's the original Starfield of Nyx. While Opalescence is not amazing in this particular deck because, I don't really have a whole lot of expensive enchantments, high casting costs, but the blue-white version, the Opalescence Replenish deck, that was amazing back in the day, but I've got it in there simply because it's too on theme not to. It may get taken out later on because it looks like it's going to be all about the Angel Token, so I'll probably end up taking this out for Idyllic Tutor or whatever if I can get my hands on one. True Conviction is going to make your angels crazy good. Double Strike Life Linking Angels is not bad. All your angels have first strike. Extort. Man, this is I have a hard time with this card because it's the dang Extort. That's what I have a problem with. This is a mono white card. For Commander rules and color identity, this is a mono white card because it does not count mana symbols that are in reminder text. And that is what has me so boggled, is that I can clearly see a black mana symbol on this card, and yet it is not black. And it does feel kind of cheaty face that I can run this in a mono white deck. But you know what? It's so good for this particular deck, I'm going to use it. Aura of Silence. So you might as well give your opponent something to, steal from your deck and ruin your whole day, right? No, the artifact word in here is worth its weight, is worth the cover price of the 3 mana. Legion's Landing is going to get us some. So now we're making 1/1 vampires, 2/2 cats, and 4/4 angels. So that's pretty sweet. Contemplation. Play a spell, gain a life here again. This one is a little on the weaker side. This is my Angelic Chorus spot. High Ground. Now, High Ground does not get enough love. I mean, all your creatures can double block. Wow. And last but not least is Orum's Prayer. Kind of, all the 1/1 creatures almost don't bother you. And I do believe it. Yeah, that's what I have got. I do appreciate you watching. Just a good old-fashioned mono white enchantment deck. Let me know what you think. And I do believe, I'm not sure when this is coming out. Yeah. I do believe we are, November 16th is my 1-year YouTube anniversary. So I appreciate you guys watching for so long and so much rambling. But right now, it's time to shuffle and cut.